Tonight I tried to recreate the bacon mac and cheese cone from the Cozy Cone Motel in California Adventure. The first step is to take a piece of cardstock and fold it into a cone and then staple it at the top. And then you're gonna wrap the cone in foil. Next, you take 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water to make an egg wash. You just mix them together and then whisk it. Now you're going to need some cooking spray or some oil with a brush to coat your foil so that your pizza dough doesn't stick to it. I used olive oil and I just brushed it all over the foil. Now you need some pizza dough. You can make it yourself or you could buy it already made. I tried this one and I had one other one you'll see later. So all I did was cut it into strips and I wrapped it around the cone. This was actually really difficult. Sorry if you hear screaming, Allie is on a rampage. But yeah, I just wrapped it around and tried to stick those together. Tried not to leave any spots open, but I did miss a couple. I thought that it was going to rise when it baked, but it didn't really. Not this one. So now you want to use your egg wash and another brush and coat the entire thing with the egg wash. This is where I should have realized I should have closed up those gaps, but I really thought it was going to rise. So the recipe I saw said to sprinkle it with a pinch of salt. I also use garlic powder because you just gotta have garlic powder on your pizza crust. This is the other crust that I tried. I just wanted to see if it would come out different than the other. This can was so hard to open. I don't know what was wrong with it. So I unrolled this one and cut it into strips just like the other one. I cut this dough a little thicker and wrapped it around just like the other one. So I tried to stick down all the seams together, hoping they would stay while I baked. I baked the other one first and realized it didn't really rise, so I thought this one might do the same, but I was wrong. And I made a mess. So I brushed on the egg wash just like the other one. So I sprinkled on the salt. Then added some garlic powder. and then realized I didn't want to make another one of these, so I made little twisty breadsticks out of the rest of the dough. I used the egg wash on these and also coated them with the salt and garlic powder. I baked these and the cones at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I just watched them and made sure they turned golden brown and checked them. I didn't set a timer, but it probably took about 15 minutes. So then I removed it from the oven, and I saw where the gap stayed open, which I wasn't too happy about, but whatever. And it took a little finessing to get the foil out, even with the oil on it, and it was really hot, and it was even hotter on the inside. Also, when you put these in the oven, you want them to stand straight up, so you're probably going to have to put them on the bottom rack. Even with the gaps, I was kind of happy about the way it turned out until I took this one out, and it was just a disaster. Breadsticks came out good though. Yesterday was Easter, and I made a big meal for my family, so I didn't feel like making macaroni and cheese from scratch, so I used Stouffer's already made, pop it in the oven, and you can't tell me that doesn't look good, because it was good. When the mac and cheese is done baking, it has to sit for 15 minutes, so while that was sitting, I made a couple pieces of bacon to crumble up to put on top. I stuck the cones in cups so that I could fill them easily. And I went ahead and still filled that one, even though I knew it was going to leak out, but it was going to stay in the cup anyway, so I don't care. These cones held a lot of mac and cheese. I topped it with the bacon, and that was it. I actually like this one more than the one at California Adventure. My kids even loved it. They ate it all up, and they never do that. It wasn't as pretty, but it tastes better. Let me know if you try this down in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.